Hey there everyone, Dustin here, and welcome to 3D Garage. My apologies if it's a little bit windy out here, but wanted to bring you out here and do the big reveal. So this in front of me, actually the camera's sitting on it right now, is the car I'd like to reveal to you, and here we go. So as I mentioned in the last video, I mentioned that the first car I ever got was a 1993 Honda Del Sol Model S. And so why not begin kind of where it all began, but this time with something a little bit better. So the car you see behind me here is a 1994 Honda Del Sol VTEC, being that it has the B16A3 engine. This is the first dual overhead cam VTEC engine Honda had in the US. Of course, Acura had the Integra, but it wasn't until the Civic Si came out that there was another car that also had the B16 engine in it. So that being that this is a B series, there's a lot of potential here. And when I got it, the car only had 113,000 miles on it, so it's in relatively good shape still too. A good starting point. If we pick up the camera and we kind of take a look around the car, we can see under the hood's pretty clean. The valve cover's been painted, and the radiator's been replaced. But other than that, everything else is pretty much stock. For wheels, we got some mismatched HXs in the rear with some aftermarket wannabe BBSs of different offsets in the front. This car kind of handles funny, so we had to address all of this. Front bumper, obviously 93 through 95 front bumper. Smiley face. It's pretty sandblasted, pretty damaged. Probably gonna replace that with the 97, I think. The body on the left-hand side has a few little dings and dents and whatnot, but there is some damage to the right rear quarter panel. If we come around here and look, if we come around here and take a good look at this door, we can see it kind of hit a tire or something, is pushed in. So yeah, I think that's the first thing that we're going to do to this is we're going to address the paint and body. And then we're going to address the interior, clean that up, put a 97 interior in it. Just little things that you would want to do to a Del Sol. As you can see, the car has a target top, which stows away inside the trunk. Okay, so the name I came up with for this project is the Red Sun. And I'm kind of pulling from a few different things, but the car being a Honda Del Sol, that translation to that being the sun, and well, the color in itself, it's red. So if you also think about the Japanese flag, this car obviously is a Japanese car. The Japanese flag is a red sun. And then we have initial D and the team, the Red Sun. So I think it's kind of fitting. And going back to initial D, I guess that kind of pulls the overarching goal for this car. I want this car to be toge car, I guess you could say. I want the handling dynamics of this car to be what makes it. Of course, I want the exterior to look nice. I want it to have some JDM parts, and I want it to make some decent horsepower, but I want it to handle. More importantly, I want it to handle. And this car is going to be a street car, right? It's not going to have too much horsepower. It's going to be streetable. You're going to be able to drive it places, and it's going to handle well. So I highlighted earlier that the car has some body damage. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to knock out the body and paint work. There are some panels that are going to be replaced on this, specifically the hood and the deck lid. Those are going to be replaced with carbon fiber ones, which I'm going to mold and make. Front bumper is going to get replaced, and the rear panel and the spoiler are going to be replaced. And then once we complete the paint and body work, then we're going to go through the interior. I've got some bits and pieces that I've been buying that I want to get installed, and so we'll do those. And then after that, we're going to work on the suspension. And once the suspension and all the components are installed, and the wheels and tires and brakes, and that system's been gone through, then we're going to work on the engine. So like I said, the goal for this car is to be a street car. I want it to make somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 350 horsepower, obviously turbocharged to achieve that. We're going to keep the B series, and we're going to try to do this all on stock internals. We're not trying to build this engine just yet. So I kind of want to go over what this car has done to it already. Pop the hood here. We can see for the most part, the engine is stock airbox still. The valve cover has been painted, but if I zoom in here, when I got this car, it did have a broken exhaust manifold stud, which I had to drill out and tap in. So when I did that, I replaced them with these ARP broached 8x1 38 millimeter studs, stainless studs. You can see that the car also has an aluminum radiator in it. And then other than that, we go around to the back. See that the car has a it's a 1320 muffler and exhaust installed. And the interior, see, pretty much stock. There has been a subwoofer installed. Check it out behind the seat. And so this configuration just isn't going to work for what I'm trying to achieve. I don't know if I'm going to ditch the subwoofer or not, but we'll see. But yeah, so you've got a chance to see the car. I've kind of shared my vision with where I want to take this thing, what I want to do to it. And if you tune in next week, we're going to install this Skunk 2 Alpha series header, a high flow cat. We're going to do a little bit of a tune-up. And then after that, I'm going to make a like a driving montage type of video, so you can see how this thing sounds and looks going down the road. And then after that, we're gonna tear into this thing and strip it apart and start doing body work, sanding it. So if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. This helps the channel out and keeps it growing. Thanks.